Welcome to Street Beat. I'm Becky Kaiser here at Fort Hays State University in the Memorial Union, and in front of us a 3D miniature model of Fort Hays State University. It's one of the coolest things you're ever going to see. This is from 3D Global Arts, and I have with me Dave Van Doren on my right, who he and his wife Kathy are the owners, and then two of his employees who were very instrumental in the project, and I'll let them introduce themselves.
My name's Molly Walter. I'm the project manager.
And Jennifer Younger, I'm the sales and operations manager.
All right, well, let's go back over here, and Dave, start with you. You and Kathy are alumni of Fort Hays State University, big supporters, and you have donated this to the university. It obviously is an excellent example of what you do in your career, but what a great gift to Fort Hays State, because this is it. It's actually a tool that can be used.
It is a tool. Thanks, Becky. Yeah, it's an inspiration from 60 years of being familiar with the campus, and I know it like the back of my hand.
Well, this is a beautiful, beautiful piece. Tell us a little bit about its size and what it took to get started on this and to actually get it finished.
It's about 8 feet by 12 feet, and we started 3 years ago on this. We were able to get all the drawings for each of the buildings from Dana Cunningham at the university here, and we combined that with nearly 1,000 photos that were taken at different times of the year. So we had to have winter pictures so we could see through the trees and see what the buildings look like, and springtime pictures for the flowers and the trees, and then there were several additions over that period of time. Picken was remodeled, and so we actually built Picken twice. Oh. And then the new parking across the street from Picken was added, and several other changes over that period of time, including some power plant additions and a new building that goes along with the power plant. And then we've added 3 new buildings that aren't even on the campus yet, such as the new Center for IT, and the new indoor sports training facility over by Lewis Field. And then we've added the Tiger Place Apartments, Agnew Hall, right there.
Now tell me how it can be used as a tool for Fort Hays State.
Well, it's a good planning tool for one thing. It's a good way to visualize the whole campus and see where future growth might happen, such as this area we're looking at right here. This is prime real estate for future expansion of Fort Hays, as is the area up there just east of the foundation and alumni building is another area that's good expansion, as well as the area where behind Dr. Hammond's home, in that area.
So primarily on the west side of campus.
Yeah, on the west side. Yeah, there's quite a bit of room to expand, and of course the university owns 5,000 acres total, so this is just a very small part of the university.
I noticed that as we began talking to you this afternoon that there were some tours coming through here, and the union looked like perhaps prospective students. Yes. And they were being told about this is a union, and this is a great place to look for prospective students, their families, to find out what is here.
That's right. It's a good marketing tool and a good way to tour campus in 5 minutes. You get an orientation. It's an interactive model, so that the touch screen over here will display information about each of the major buildings, and that building lights up at that time. So it's a good orientation and sales and marketing tool.
Well, not only for the university, but for Global 3D Arts. So let's talk to your employees here. And Jennifer, I'm going to start with you and ask you a little bit. You mentioned to me a moment ago that this is a good tool for you to use to promote your company.
Absolutely, and the thing I'm the most impressed with, and especially with Dave and his knowledge, is there is no guesswork in here. Everything is to scale, architecturally sound, a lot of details, a lot of time went into it. And as you can tell, I mean, we've been looking at this project for quite a while now, and every time you look at it, you see something new and something different.
It's tempting for those of us who are not in the business to think, ooh, cool toy, but it's not really a toy. As you said, it is to scale, it's architectural rendering, and these are important things that prospective clients of your company want to know that you're able to do.
Absolutely. There's several large companies, universities, power plants, things along those lines, who they need this type of a visual aid to help them in projecting future projects, maybe security, things along that line.
So Dave, in a couple sentences, how would you describe Global 3D Arts and what you do?
Well, we provide architectural 3D help in the way of renderings, animations, and scale models for normally projects that aren't built yet. So this is unusual in that it's already existing except for the 3 or 4 buildings that we pointed out that aren't built yet. Most models are built for projects that haven't been built yet so that people can see and understand, and primarily for marketing and that sort of thing.
Welcome back to Street Beat. Becky Kaiser in Fort Hays State University Memorial Union, along with Molly Walter, who's the project manager for the miniature 3D model from Global 3D Arts we see at Fort Hays State. And Molly, you really had a hand in this. Even though you came in closer to the end of the project, you were very involved in this menu that we see attached to it, which allows us to kind of have a virtual tour of Fort Hays State. Who would do this, and how do we do it?
Well, anyone can do it. Basically, this is the main menu that we see here, and then you can select whatever building you want to see. So I'm going to select Davis Hall, and it'll bring up some pictures of Davis Hall and a little bit of information about Davis Hall, and then it also shuts off all the lights on the model and only turns on the lights of Davis Hall. So you can go back to the main menu, select Acres Energy Center, does the same thing. And each graphic shows a couple pictures, of the actual building, which is a nice addition as well.
Oh, yeah, that gives you kind of that still and fixes it in your mind, and then you can look at the tabletop and see where it is relative to the campus. And I understand that you did all the graphics for all this display.
Yes, I did.
Well, obviously, this has been a great experience for you, and I'm curious what you think about, being someone who is of traditional college age, how important is it to have some sort of interactivity now to displays and that kind of thing when we think about something like this, or at a museum, or even an art gallery? Are people looking for that now?
Yeah, I think definitely people are looking for it, especially here. I think that Fort Hays is kind of a confusing campus. I remember when I was a freshman, man, I didn't know where any of my classes were. And if I would have been able to see this, I would have been like, oh, well, this is the dorm, and I just need to walk down this street, and I'm going to get straight to Rarick. So it's great in that sense that students can come and they can look at it and know where everything is. I mean, it's just right here. So it's a great tool, and I think campuses, I know their campuses have scale models, and they're not as cool as ours,
You heard it here. This one's the coolest.
Yeah, it's true. But, they're great tools.
Well, Molly, thank you very much for your time, and we extend our thanks also to Jennifer and, of course, Dave Van Dorn for this really neat 3D miniature interactive model from Global 3D Arts.